Hey everyone, welcome back to KDX Bricks Analytics. I'm Kevin, and this is where we talk everything Lego investing and reselling. And today I'm going to do a daily Lego news roundup, talk about the latest headlines. Let's jump right into it. Starting out with a Bricks Up article announcing the new daily bugle in the play scale size set 76342. It will be coming out January 1st of 2026. And it is specifically called the Spider-Man versus Mysterio version. Comes with 781 pieces. It's going to retail for $100. And today's Lego prices with the 7 minifigures and the mech doesn't sound terrible. It will have all 4 stories, but it's a small build, so all the details are going to be really tightly packed on the interior. The front of the box is good artwork, very dynamic. The set looks okay. I do have some complaints, and I don't love the tan contrasting with the dark tan bricks here at the bottom and the orange on the side of the building. The window to building structure ratio is way off. Those windows are way too small. I realize that these are the width of a brick, so not much else they could do there, but it looks more like a prison than an office building. And the building is so thin, which is exacerbated by the width of the staircase on the side. I mean, that's more than a quarter of the width of the building as a whole. So it looks like a pencil building. I don't mind the open back for a play scale set. The stoplight's pretty nice touch. And the interior details for the space they have look good. Connecting all the minifigures and the dynamic pose does help the width of the building, so it makes it look bigger than it actually is. Nice minifigure lineup. Spider-Man with the arm printing, Miles Morales, Ghost Spider, Jonah Jameson, Venomized Captain America. That looks awesome, even though there's way too much venomizing going on in the Lego world. Mysterio, and then Rhino. The torsos all look good with detail. Obviously, we wish there was some more printing on the legs. Oh, and that's kind of cool that the side builds are a little modular. You can put them on either side or both sides. But yeah, with how wide the front doors are, the double doors, and how narrow the brick built is on the first floor, and then how little window you see on the top 3 floors, it's so thin and tall. And actually not that tall, but comparatively thin and tall. So yeah, I wish overall the building was a few studs wider. The big question many of us are going to ask is, will this set impact the very large daily bugle that is retiring at the end of this year when it comes to investing in this set? And I don't think so. This one is so different, such a different price point, so many more minifigures, different color with the gray. It's fully enclosed around the back. It fits well in a city build as a skyscraper with very little modification. So 2 very different sets, but I'm excited that we're getting another play scale daily bugle with some decent minifigures. Here's a GameSpot article talking about Lego releasing a collector's edition of the Iron Man armor. And here is an image of that set. Does come with a minifigure, 1297 pieces, releases January 1st and $130. It's 15 inches tall, 8 inches wide, and 4 inches deep. Not terrible on the price in 2026. I'd like it at $100. I'm sure we'll be able to get it on sale. It looks like there are a number of the painted gold pieces. Oh, and I meant to mention both the model and the minifigure is the Mark III. Comes with a small nameplate, and I like that the stand it doesn't use very many pieces, but I like the fact that it does have a stand. I think that adds to the classiness of these adult-themed, adult-aimed collector's edition sets. What I don't know is how many adults are going to be interested in this. We've had a lot of Iron Man stuff over the years, feeling a little bit similar to the Hulkbuster fatigue we've experienced. Design overall does look pretty good. I like the shoulders and the top part of the arms that look pretty beefy. The tapering in through the torso looks good. The only thing that catches my eye potentially in a negative is the bottom piece of the face mask there. And then a big question I have is, are they going to do other superheroes in a collector's edition style? My hunch is this won't be that popular for investing, somewhat similar to the brick-built action figures that haven't done well. And Lego just recently released the MK4 bust and the Iron Spider-Man bust. So are these encroaching on each other's territory? I think I like these 2 better than the fully built-up collector's edition. Here's an interesting article on Brick Fanatics where the designer is talking about how they considered doing some glow-in-the-dark elements and having a light brick to light up the arc reactor, but ultimately they decided against both because although that would have added to the play features of this model, They are really leaning into the display features aspect of this model. And for the light brick, the scale of the model wasn't quite large enough to fit it in the upper torso and neck area. And the designer said it would have messed up their design in that area. So I agree with both of those decisions. And then they also mentioned an Easter egg when building the arc reactor that they would not have been able to do with a light brick. And then lastly on this set, there are some new prints for the minifigure. First off, we can see arm printing for the first time on an Iron Man minifigure, so that's outstanding. Still very good torso and leg printing through the hips. And then another nice upgrade is Tony Stark's head has two printed faces, one without glasses and a smirk, but one with the glasses, and that is critical. So although I probably will not be getting this set for personal or investing, I would like one of these minifigures. Now let's pivot to talking about Lego ideas. The 6 finalists in the latest wave were just announced. Some of these look great and I'm really excited about, like the Downton Abbey Castle. My wife and I watched the whole series. It's a really good TV show. I know it's a soap opera, but it's great. I really want to see how Lego designs this set. I think it will be a fantastic investment. I also want one for personal collection. My wife will probably build that one. Then another finalist is an ET brick-built model. I love ET, showed it to my kids a couple of years ago, but I don't think I want it in brick-built form, so probably passing. And then this La Cucina set, I think this could be really cool. Probably not for personal collection, but there might be some value here as an investment. The Smurf Village, that's adorable. I grew up on the Smurfs, so nostalgia, I would want one. Not sure for investing. This ramen set is really cool, but I'll probably be passing on and I don't see it as a good investment. And then lastly is the Power Rangers Megazord. Power Rangers were right after my time and definitely before my kids, but I know how popular Power Rangers is. I might want this for personal collection. I think there's some real investment potential here. Of course, with all of these, we have to wait a long time until they retire. I generally like the 6 that Lego picked of the 56 candidates, but there's a couple others I would like to see in official Lego idea sets. This medieval knight is pretty cool, and I could actually see this going in castle layout builds as like a big central plaza statue, so that would be really cool. I like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, very nostalgic for me. An Apple Store would be really cool. I wonder if Lego would have licensing issues with that. Ohio State Marching Band, hard pass for me. I'm an SEC guy. Sorry to all you Big Ten folks out there. My brother is Big Ten. The Bob Ross set is a good idea. I bet we get one in the future. I'm an engineer type, so this civil engineering set would have been awesome, but probably way too narrow of a market. The Golden Girl is not my thing, but I can see the popularity, and Lego actually announced this one is in the parking lot, so it might happen in the future. Same thing with the Old Man and the Sea, and the Daft Punk concert is also in the parking lot, according to Lego. These last two I'm not really interested in. The Mediterranean restaurant looks great, but these days Lego is not picking many idea sets that are very similar to modular buildings because they're doing enough of those in that line. The Jellyfish collection I would have loved. That might have been my number 1 or 2. Griswold Family Christmas House would have been great. That's a cool build. I know Lego would never design it like that with all the details on the roof and all the extra snow. More Scooby-Doo sets would be awesome. My wife would love the Gilmore Girls in Lego form. And then lastly, Mary Poppins would have been cool, but I don't see that happening. Now onto a cool BBC article titled "First Lost Lego Shark Lands Hundreds for Charity." Back in 1997, 62 containers got swept off of a cargo ship near Land's End. 4.75 million Lego pieces were lost at sea. Almost 52,000 of them were the dark gray sharks. And back in 2024, a fisherman caught one of these in the approximate area. So everybody's assuming that this one is one of the 52,000 that fell off of the ship. And so a cool ending to the story. Nearly 30 years later, this one went for 430 euros at auction. And it is to support UK cancer research. Back to the January 2026 Marvel sets officially revealed. We talked about the 2 big ones. There are 4 smaller sets. We've got the Epic Battle Spider-Man versus Sandman. It retails for $25 and 20 euros. 3 minifigures. And then this Epic Battle Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. Like I said, the Hulkbuster Fatigue. 413 pieces, does come with a big fig. Retails for 15 US and 45 euros. But has the Iron Man minifig with the arm printing, so that's great. 76336 Spider-Man car versus Venomized Wolverine. 134 pieces for $20, but 2 minifigures. More Venomized, but a Venomized Wolverine is awesome. I actually like this car a lot. I like the runners here that narrow it up, but then the gaps, and it makes it look like the wider tires. So a more aggressive profile, and I like the big engine on the back. And then a small $10 set, basically a scaled down Ghost Rider motorcycle that we've already got. 2 minifigures, 72 pieces, and looks pretty good. Brick Fanatics did catch one disappointment with the new Marvel sets. No black-suited Spider-Man minifigure. We have to keep on waiting for that. This epic battle, Spider-Man versus Sandman, is the first Lego set from Spider-Man 3. So a black-suited Spider-Man would have made sense, but it didn't show up this time, hopefully in the future. Now over to Speed Champions, we kind of have an 11th F1 car for our Speed Champions paddock, but this one is based on the movie, which is really cool actually. And it comes with 2 minifigures. Get to see Brad Pitt in the minifigure form. The build looks great, very similar to the other 10, but I like how all these have some variation. And so I'm excited to add this one to my collection. And with the 2 minifigures, it jumped up to $28 US instead of 27 and 23 in euros. Although the Speed Champions prices are really high these days, I'm glad it's only $1 more for the second minifigure. And here's a bigger picture of the minifigures, Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce. And compared to the actors, they look good. An article on hypebeast.com showing the Lego Nike Dunk Low Tour Yellow with a black volt and detailing. This looks cool. I'm not into shoes, but my youngest son is. So I definitely see the appeal here. $120. I've heard of some folks actually investing in the Lego Nike shoes. I won't be doing that, but I like that Lego is pairing with Nike and making a few different kid shoes. Lego, The Simpsons, and Fortnite are all doing a new collaboration. A bunch of in-game experiences, and you can claim some Lego rewards. But what I'm most excited about is this image right here. It'd be awesome to get some Simpsons minifigures that have been Fortniteized. A couple of Lego events to share. A new Lego store is opening in Henrico County in Virginia. And then recently, the first ever Eugene, Oregon brick convention went off. Looks like a Western landscape in that picture. Some cool art pieces, a Thomas the Train, and then a stadium. All right, we'll wrap up this daily news episode with the few sets that are releasing here in November. The one getting all the buzz is the Goonies ship. 2912 pieces, but $330 US. A good assortment of minifigures. And I've seen pictures of the other side where the ship is very nicely finished. So I think it's a cool set. Has a good GWP we'll look at in a second. And then the other set coming soon is this tropical aquarium. I love the idea. I do not like the execution. Over 4,100 pieces, but $480 US, $450 in the UK and in euros. Very colorful, but not enough action features, not dynamic enough for me. Way too expensive. Honestly, probably just too big. Here's the Goonies GWP, the attic with 2 minifigures. Great touch. I think this one will be very popular and have a good resale value. And then for $480, you get this tiny fish tank filter and food. Totally not worth it. Yes, fish tanks need filters, but I wouldn't want something attached to this. I think it'll take away from it. To enjoy a nice, picturesque, colorful fish tank, I don't need, basically the hardware getting in the way. That's something I wouldn't want to see in a Lego build because I don't need it in a Lego build. So this GWP blows my mind, and of course the full aquarium blows my mind. Big miss, in my opinion. I think Lego had a chance to do like a $200 aquarium that would have been awesome. And then one more GWP to look at that's out right now here on the Lego.com offers page is this Disney classic animation scene set. I do like this one a lot. 3 different scenes that you can put in the small classic TV. I think this one too will be very popular. And it's only on $130. That's a pretty good threshold for this GWP. Then a quick look at the sales page on Lego.com. Nothing too exciting here. Storm Village at 20% off is okay if you stack GWP and Rakuten. The Kick Sauber is the only F1 retiring at the end of this year. Ninjago Tournament Battle Arena is actually flying under the radar a little bit. A lot of minifigures for $50 and 659 pieces, and now it's 40% off. I think that's a steal. I might pick up a couple of the Revenge of the Sith Star Wars multi-pack brickheads if it's 40% off, like the last 2 versions, but those last 2 versions haven't done well. Desert Skiv and Sarlacc Pit needs to be 40 or 50% off for me. And then the rest of these are not of interest on page 1. Page 2, Castle Nocturnia is a cool set, but I want it 45% off minimum. And then there isn't anything else of interest in here for me. And same with page 3, and now we're to the keychains. All right, I hope you enjoyed a news roundup. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, and let me know what else you might want me to talk about in the future. As always, thanks a lot for watching. That's a wrap, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, my videos are for entertainment purposes only. I do not provide financial advice. You got to get that from somebody else.